Itira sir to please come and say a few words.
Good evening. Happy all of you have gathered here because this sort of initiative needs everybody's support. So thank you for being here, and the team of Connect and Heal are here. So thank you for taking this initiative to come and join with Ujjivan. Physical wellness, we are all aware of. We've all make sure that we address that, and whenever there are issues, we make sure that we get it attended to. But equally important is emotional wellness, and I think this is something that more and more we need to address as we go along, because as Chandralekha rightly said, the pressures of life, the traumas that we face, and the issues that come up from time to time need to be addressed slightly differently, and the emotional quotient is very important. So, I think this initiative which we have taken is something that we felt was important, and from the feedback that we have received in the last year or two from other support that we have been providing has been the basis on which we have decided to go forward. So I'd like to thank the HR team for putting together this. So well done.
As a CFO, I have one short line. There is no cost to the employees, it's being borne by the bank. So make full use of it, and take a considered call on this, because we tend to ignore this. There is a stigma, we don't want to talk about it, we're very hesitant on these matters. So I would urge all of you to take full advantage of this program. There are very few organizations who actually look after their employees in a holistic way. I haven't come across this in my 2 decades of overseas work. It was always a medical reimbursement with 20% deduct. So I would suggest and request and urge all of you to make full use of this wellness program.
Thank you for attending this program. This is one of the biggest programs that we are doing on the wellness part. We have, first of all, I would like to welcome all the dignitaries here, the employees, who are the most important people in this forum. Next, of course, the leadership at Ujjivan. And I would also like to welcome Mr. Sundar, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Connect and Heal. That is our partner for this program. Connect and Heal, we partner with Connect and Heal for our physical wellness program. As you know, we have a helpline number where you can call and get doctor consultation for physical ailments. Similarly, today we are launching the emotional wellness support as well. And special welcome to all the members of the Connect and Heal family. And that is exactly what we are going to do here. There are so many different issues in today's world. There's, like the posters say, there's stress, there's anxiety, there's depression, and many of you may be following many influencers and celebrities who are speaking up about it. This is a thing that people are usually shy of. The way things are there, that it has always been a taboo to speak about emotional wellness. I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling happy. I don't feel excited to wake up and experience the day. So these things are very important, not only from a human point of view, but also it impacts everything. Because supervisors are the ones who should have the empathy to realize that there is an emotional wellness need for someone and support that person to just, it's a call away. The other thing is, Ujjivan is a family, and we are not doing it only for our employees. Your family members also have access to this. But on a serious note, this is an important agenda for Ujjivan. We want our employees to have holistic well-being, and this is necessary from all of you. All of us are ambassadors of Ujjivan. We must talk about it in our branch visits, in our regional visits. Talk to your peers, your friends. Please make it available to your family members. People can call this number, take the Ujjivan ID, and they will get a support. Similarly, if there's something very serious and they need a face-to-face consultation, that is also possible. One more thing that I wanted to add is this service is completely confidential. So if you use it or your family member uses it, no data comes to anyone, including HR. We just want you to use this service and get benefited of it.
As far as physical wellness is concerned, we are very very serious about it. We consider that as a small thing that headache होगा ठीक हो जाएगा. एक दिन सोएंगे एक्स्ट्रा उस दिन ठीक हो जाएगा. So that is something which is not going to work. This is an opportunity. About 15% of people, the population, they go through emotional unwellness at some point of time. But at the same time, when we look around and find people like that, and general comments which we hear, when we meet such people is, अरे वो थोड़ा सा खिसका हुआ है, अरे वो he is not very social, or he is not focused, etc., etc. This is not something which is going to help. We need to identify such people and then respect everybody, and we understand that issues they are going through, because each person is fighting their own war, both in professional life, which we know to an extent, but also in personal life, which we don't know. We should not judge people based on what they are doing, how they are behaving, but at the same time we should support everybody so that they use these services and they come out from it. That is very very important. So change in behavior of everybody, and respect for everybody who is around you, working with you, without having any prejudice, without judging anybody, is very very important.
So please make full use of this service. Prior to Ujjivan, I worked for 3 private sector banks and 3 foreign banks, all the top players in their respective segments, and none of them ever offered me this. So Ujjivan is the first bank, Ujjivan is the first corporate I've come across which is offering a service as unique as this. So my request to you is, share this with all members of your teams, members of your families, and encourage them to use this if they feel that something inside is not quite all right.
It's extremely important because we are working with a number of companies, and it is so important to put up this framework in the first place. And happy to be part of this event today, where you are putting up this framework for the entire organization, where 17,000 employees with their families can have access to emotional wellness. Why is this important? Because, like we heard from your colleagues, health is supposed to be an integrated topic. It's not just physical wellness, but it is physical and mental health that will go on to build this wholesome wellness. Important that I see each of you as ambassadors. People have started talking about physical illnesses being kind of pretty amplified, and the mental illnesses being subdued. We have moved from there to a hush-hush kind of a situation where people talk about mental illnesses. But if I were to walk into a psychiatrist's clinic and have a consultation, I would look, who is it who is probably looking at me, right? That hesitancy still exists. We are in the journey, right? And it's not about just in India. Globally, this transition is happening. Probably, and we need to look internally and find out whether we have also had any kind of biases, towards people. Have you been judgmental when people say that, I'm kind of, a bit stressed today, I'm feeling jittery, I'm worried, I'm concerned. See, people have been discriminated, people have been labeled as being bad, everything that can be done in a not so nice environment. Each of you as managers, team leads, especially in the banking sector, because I'll tell you, the banking sector, there was a survey taken, people were asked to say how stressful are their jobs. Low stress, medium, high, very high. So can you guess what the survey results were? 65% of the people were in the high and very high. Sometimes people don't realize that they are getting into a chronic stress. Get me? We are probably stressed inside. I'm struggling with something. Maybe I'm struggling with my career goals. Maybe I'm struggling with finance. Maybe I'm struggling with a relationship. Maybe I'm struggling because of the loss of a close one. Or I might be struggling. I have taken it that this is something that will be in my mind. I will not talk to anybody. I will not expose it. and then it becomes chronic. Now, same chronic stress, sometimes inducing factors are then taken out. I have a financial problem. My financial problem is solved, but I'm so used to worrying about finance that the inducing factor of finance shortage has been taken out, but I'm still worrying. That is anxiety disorder. Fantastic facility for you and your family members. Just have to use our only channels. Either go to the app, call 911, 911, or just go to the web and make a booking. We are happy to serve you. Let's encourage. Let's identify people who need this care. Let's tell them that there is a facility like this, and we will be very happy to support you. Our call lines are open 24/7. When I say 24/7, it's not you have an IVRS in the night. No, you have virtually people being manning day and night, including doctors.
But when we go to a psychiatrist, we always think, is someone looking at me? Has someone seen me come here? So we still have a long way to go. Recently there was a Japanese company who wanted to do this, and we were just talking about how internationally everybody is so active in all these things, but India is way backward. But when I come to Ujjivan, I see that everybody is talking about this subject, which means everybody knows about it. Like all of you, it's not like you have a barrier about talking about emotional well-being, about mental health and all that. So that's a wonderful thing. And all of you can avail the benefits of it, which is a wonderful thing. With my experience, with the kind of clients I've got, I have seen a lot of celebrities, I have seen a lot of intellectual people. So I would say that it is the most intellectual people who actually know that they need to take help. Because those who are unaware just struggle, and they think that others should not know that I'm taking help. There are a lot of ads also these days which say that it's okay for you to not be okay. If you feel that you need help, that means you definitely need help. Otherwise, why would you even have that feeling, right? So when you feel it, or when someone else feels it, don't go about telling them that you're a psycho, so you need to visit. That's a very bad way of saying it, because these are very sensitive topics. So tell them in a very nice way, and once they visit, it shouldn't be like, oh, she's a psycho, he's a psycho, he has visited a psychologist. So that itself has caused the stigma where people don't visit psychologists or counselors for help, but they struggle on their own. Fever, you have a fever, people don't say you're fevered, but when you have depression, people say he's depressed. So that way you don't need to label people. It is very subtle, right? The signs of emotional ill health. It's not easily recognized. Change in the work habits, like for example, a person who's been very into about work, the person might start procrastinating. The person might start showing loss of motivation in taking up any new project. There could be changes in the way the person dresses up, in physical appearance as well. So it won't be such a huge difference like the one who used to wear pants would suddenly wear shorts and come. It wouldn't be like that. It could be very subtle where the person constantly forgets to wear a watch, or the person who comes well groomed suddenly stops ironing his clothes and coming. It could be such things also when it comes to physical appearance. Or you may just stop taking responsibility for your physical hygiene. It could be any of those things. So just keep a watch. The person seems to be withdrawn, seems to have self-imposed isolation. A person who loves going out with everyone suddenly withdraws, suddenly stops going out, suddenly starts taking a lot of leaves. There are absenteeism increases. So all these things are signs that a person needs help. So it's very important for all of us to keep a watch on all this, and also sometimes even if we are going through all these things, it's difficult for us to understand that probably we need help, because we just think that it's just the loss of a loved one, life-changing event or something like that, because of which we are feeling that way. But everybody faces all these stressors. The way we deal with these stressors is what makes us or breaks us. Most important thing for happiness, for well-being, is your relationships. and your relationships get affected when you're not emotionally well. Because if you start snapping out at people, you have a tendency of losing your friends, your relatives, your colleagues, your any close acquaintances, right? Because emotional well-being is not something that's just affecting you, but it is affecting your surroundings as well. So it's very important to have a good atmosphere at work, a good environment at work. If someone is coming and telling you something about their issues, if you just stop them at that moment itself by judging them, oh, you did this, which means you are like this, so you judge them, that person stops talking there itself. So it's very important because these are very sensitive issues. If someone has openly come up to you and wants to speak to you about it, encourage that person to speak more about it. Be very empathetic towards that person. So showing sympathy and putting the person down, like saying, oh, you have this problem, but I am very good. I am good at, handling my stress levels. But for you, even a small stress is something that becomes very great. So you're not good at managing your stress levels. That's your problem and stuff like that. If you talk to them about it in that way, here you're sympathizing, but in a very negative way. So try to empathize. So when you empathize, you actually make that person feel that you have gone through it as well, so you understand it. Every person expresses his or her emotions in a different way. Every person is unique, and we need to embrace that uniqueness rather than labeling a person by saying, you are a person who is always upset, or you're a person who's always like this or like that. So you need to identify that people are different, feelings are different, their emotions are different, everybody is unique. So let me tell you what is your role as a leader in this. When a person has come to you and said something to you, take it very seriously that it could be a serious matter, because otherwise people don't really come and express themselves, right? So you need to encourage them to take professional help and also realize that these are very sensitive things when people have come and told you. Because someone might have just come and told you about something that would have happened in their family. Try to make it seem like you're genuinely interested and it is something that you understand is a problem. It could be as simple as a problem that a person might just say, so and so is not giving me importance anymore. That might be a very silly thing for you, but for that person it might be a great thing, right? Because the way you have given importance to that person and you haven't gotten it back, that could be really important for that person. So don't think about what the situation is, think about the feeling the person attaches with.
We are planning to launch this across the regions, and as a leader and as an ambassador, let's together promote this avenue and make an awareness. And thanks to everyone.